It's day 18 of designing Animal Crossing Island in 30 days on hard mode. Yesterday, we got some more paths placed down, and Marshall said he would be the first Grimvalian to leave our humble island. Today, we're going to have to brute force some decorating because it's day 18, and we really haven't done a whole lot to start working towards 5 stars. And I don't know if we're going to use gyroids in this bit of decorating we're doing today, but at least we now have gyroids, so that's pretty cool. The other thing we did yesterday was set up the Bell Boom Ordinance. Now, as you know, the Tiger Beetle was selling for 20% less than it's normally worth. We should now see a 20% increase, or not quite. I guess I had the numbers wrong. This should be 1,500 if Bell Boom was going to offset the cut from this box completely, but it looks like there's still a slight cut being implemented here, but this is more money. This is great. While we're at it, let's throw some other stuff in here. I don't see using a second throwback Gothic mirror. I'm probably not going to use the first one, and I'm going to sell the rest of this stuff too, including the wheat that I set aside as well yesterday. Altogether, selling all this stuff brings us to 28,761 bells that we can expect tomorrow. So far, we'll probably put more in here. And speaking of money, I wanted to make a small announcement. I talked about this before, and I've been doing some thinking. I am going to allow myself to do a little bit of money making off camera. I was thinking about challenges like this, and last time we did like a hard mode challenge, it was live streamed, and there was a lot of time spent grinding both on camera and off camera for bells. Bells are very, very important when you're doing challenges like this and you have so many restrictions. So I don't know if I'm gonna spend time today even like doing some off-camera work, but I do have some downtime where I play games and stuff, and I just normally take a break from Animal Crossing, but instead, sometimes I'm going to play a little bit more and just do diving. And if anything significant happens, I'll take a screenshot or a video, and I will show you. But yeah, you're not really missing much. It does feel like it's going to help us get things placed down like staircases and stuff, but I'm not going to be like going out hunting for villagers or gathering up new DIYs or things like that. At least not I'm not going to have that intent. If a new DIY falls in my lap, I'm not going to be mad. So in case you're seeing progress suddenly jump a little bit in this challenge, and you're like, wow, how all of a sudden does Dan have all this money? That's what I'm doing. I'm putting in the hours that you would probably put in if you were doing a challenge like this and you weren't recording it. But all right, lots to do today. I also have not forgotten that Wilbo's challenge that he gave me is not complete. I have to make a shirt. There's still bugs I got to catch. Don't worry, we will be completing it before the end of the week, I hope. And yeah, we'll get all that done. But my focus, again, has just been trying to make sure that I'm positioning myself for success. I'm playing this challenge a bit loosey-goosey a little bit. I'm not like fully taking into account that we're well over the halfway point right now, and I've just not made enough progress. So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on everything and trying to really make sure that we're set up for 5 stars. And if we do that, I mean, everything else, I feel pretty good about the other goals. I'm going to leave these tomatoes alone and just kind of let everything else grow. And that way there's only one day where I'm harvesting all the produce. And yeah, otherwise don't mind me, just going to do some dailies. Zucker's making the spooky tree, which is really, really good because this is going to play right into the types of things I want to build today for the decorating we're going to do. And I'll give him his present as well. And he's going to give me more clothing. Great. I've worn a lot of different things so far. This is probably not something that is really fitting to my personal style. Beach DIY time. It's a sauna heater, which I believe, yes, I already have. Oh, this is no time for duplicate DIYs. Not with the way things are going. This is not good. This is where I'm going to focus the majority of my time today when we get to decorating. There's still a lot of crafting I have to do, obviously. But like I said, I wanted to decorate maybe even the entrance too, but I wanted to decorate resident services for the spooky season. And that's what I'll be doing because we have so many of the spooky recipes at this point, and I did save some pumpkins. Now, will I be able to customize them how I want to? Because I just don't have a lot of the different customization pumpkins, I guess we'll call them. We'll see. That remains to be seen. But I have some of the stuff I really want, like the spooky arch and stuff like that. So I think we can make this look pretty fun. Sherry's gift today is a tennis sweater. Faith is going to give us a windbreaker, and I'm going to make a tree fall on her head. Sorry, that was mean. It's just, I'm really tired of clothing. I'm glad to have options, but they won't give me socks. They won't give me shoes. They keep giving me shirts I'll never wear, and they won't give me furniture. I definitely knew when going into this that they would be giving me a good amount of clothing. I just didn't realize that every single day, the chances of getting even one piece of furniture from these villagers was that low. I thought at least every day I would get like 2 new pieces from gifting villagers. But It's getting to a point now where I'm doing this pretty consistently and wondering to myself, do I really need to be like setting time aside to do this? I still want their photos, so I guess, yeah. But, oh, it's torture. A lot of my rocks have kind of moved to this side of the island. I think there's like 4 here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna like be carving a path right through them, so they're gonna move again. It is nice to have them so close by though. As I continue to do my dailies, I have some points to collect. We'll definitely do the selling of shells today because this is gonna be good money. I came up here looking for my normal rock that I need to hit because I think I have one more before I find the money rock. And I forgot I broke it by accident. But at least I found the next fossil, or last fossil, I think, of the day. And here's how our hybrids are looking. It looks like we got our first black tulip. That's pretty cool. And nothing down here. At one point I talked about how once we had 3 stars, I'd probably go through and get rid of the windflowers. But one thing that I'm remembering about this game is that everything, when it comes to getting 5 stars, has a hidden points value. And I know flowers that are in full bloom are worth a certain amount of points. Well, I don't know the specific number, but I know that each stage of flower is worth something, and when they look like this, they're worth the most that they can be worth. Getting rid of the windflowers on an island where I don't have like a ton of furniture options, probably not the smartest idea, which is making me think about the ways in which I can use flowers intentionally, because just having them wildly growing around the island has never been my style. I'm very particular about where everything is and how it looks. So I'm going to be thinking about that. Windflowers are not my first choice, but we have a lot of them, and you know, they're cool. Other than the hybrid gardens themselves, we definitely will be finding a way to use these that feels more intentional. We have a lost item. I'll go ahead and pick this up because I haven't finished talking to everybody yet anyway. And it looks like red is here, but my inventory is full at the moment, so we'll have to come back for that. But we can at least say goodbye to Marshall, who is wearing Cora's rockin' shirt. That's a nice treat to get from him on his last day. He gave himself a souvenir to remember Grimvale by. I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell these trees. It's becoming clear to me that these trees are not going to ever be used again. I think I was kidding myself when I thought about saving them. All right, we have red and another statue, but that one's fake. I can see the wristwatch. So this one's not real. These 2 up top are real though, and I think we'll go with this one because this particular painting is always real, and it's always good to like go ahead and get the ones out of the way that have fake counterparts. We got 2 pretty decent items today in Red's store, so we'll buy these. I did find where that other rock got off to, so now, hopefully, we can get our money rock done for the day. Indeed, it was the money rock. And now that my wallet is getting a little more heavy, I'm starting to think about the next big spend we should do. Still not thinking about my home loan right now, but maybe it's time for a staircase or another bridge to get put down, and we'll probably do one of those today. That means I'm going to need to unlock the terraforming tools just to, you know, do the things I talked about before, where I put the staircase kind of tucked into the hill or whatever, and we'll get that going. I'm obviously not going to pay anything down today, but we'll definitely have one of those projects started, you know, so villagers can help donate to it because they're just always so good at that. Now that I think about it, this is probably why Marshall just decided to up and leave. It took days of him being here with promises of a staircase or at least a ladder, and none of those showed up. He just got isolated on top of a hill, and then he's like, hey, I think I'm going to move away. And we're sitting here with shocked Pikachu face, wondering how this could possibly happen. Well, whatever. We don't need him. We don't need number 6 on the list of top 10 villagers. That is just embarrassing. We'll go ahead and drop these fossils down. I'll clear up my inventory, and we'll get started on the big job today. So at this time, we have almost 20,000 points. And I mean, in theory, we have some villager hunting to do because we still have more plots, and now Marshall's plots is empty. But we also have a lot of people in the top 10 at this point, so I don't have to hunt for them. I could let it autofill and then use my points to do things like ultimate pocket stuffing, and then of course, waterscaping and cliff construction, which I do need both of these. Getting both of these right now is 12,000 points. Plus, ultimate pocket stuffing is 8,000 points. That's a lot. In fact, I think that's literally not possible. So what we'll need to do is choose one of these. I think for now we get cliff construction, we come back for waterscaping, and I have decided to get ultimate pocket stuffing because we just need to get this out of the way. I'm about to do a whole lot of decorating, which means I need to be able to carry not only the crafting materials to make all this furniture, but I also need space to store the furniture. Otherwise, we're going to be spending a lot more time on this than we really need to. I'm also considering the fact that with all the crafting and custom designing I'm about to do, or custom like DIYing I'm about to do, I'll probably earn at least 1 or 2 big one-off kind of like points redemptions. So some of those points will be coming back pretty quickly. I do intend on starting that crafting here imminently, but let's get rid of this tree and dig into this cliff for the first time. That'll also be some one-off points. Every time you use one of those tools for the first time, you get some one-off points. Not to mention I needed to cut down a tree anyway. All right, first time actually altering the natural layout of the island. We're just gonna dig out 3 tiles on either side, and that will be enough to get this staircase flush with the hill. And that's it. That's all the terraforming I'm gonna do right here. And we'll be ready to place down that staircase. And I think that still counts as quote unquote not terraforming. I'm not changing the layout of the island. I'm just kind of working with what I got. For this, we get 1,000 points. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Natural ramps are very tempting, just because they look like the terrain so much. It still has a little bit of stone in there, and it's the cheapest one. My thinking was to use the log staircase or the stone staircase, though. They're still not the most expensive, and they look a little more finished. So at least for this one, yeah, I think I'm gonna go stone staircase. But you know where natural ramps look really good is when you kind of like put them up against the side of a cliff. I might get to show you at some point what I mean by that, because I see myself kind of doing that for at least one area. There was one area I was thinking about doing that with. So anyway, let's get this place down. We'll donate 60,000 to it. And now we'll get to our crafting. Despite having a few more dailies I want to make sure I get done, my plan is to at least get the crafting underway. So I'm going to grab all the orange pumpkins, and then the only customization I was thinking I might want to do is changing everything to the white texture. So we're going to grab these. I don't know if that's going to be enough. It depends on how much furniture we make, really. And then we just kind of need to grab, I think, a bunch of the basic crafting materials, because a lot of the pumpkin ones, I think that they use the woods for sure. They might even use stone and iron and clay. I don't know. And even with the upgraded inventory, this is still like not enough room at all. But all right, well, let's get started. Spooky trees are probably more of the kind of expensive types of things we'll be doing. I'm going to make 2 of them. And then I've been really looking forward to making a spooky arch, but probably just 1. I think 2 of these spooky towers would be awesome. Let's craft up a scarecrow. Just so we have it, I'll make a table. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll throw a trick lamp in the mix. And then we're going to grab a few other items I've been eyeing for a while. Ooh, I did not know the spooky candy set required candy. That should have been obvious. I said last time I wasn't going to buy any candy. Yeah, I don't think there's literally enough time now to get the candy we need, because you can only buy 1 piece a day, I think. Maybe villagers give us some before Halloween. I don't remember, but we might not be making this one. And it stinks because the spooky treats basket also requires 2 candy. Customization wise, this is where things get a little bit interesting, because we certainly do not have enough of these white pumpkins to do the monochrome stuff, which is a bit disappointing because I really like this. I think this is my favorite style out of all of these. They're all good though. Like there's no wrong answers here. It's just I always really liked this one. My choices are basically to take the pumpkins that I have, the white ones, and plant more so that I can have more options, or to just go ahead with the orange ones, or somewhere in between. I could decorate with the orange ones today and then pick them all back up and change them later on when I've saved up more of the white pumpkins. I don't know. All right, well, let's start here with the things that I have. And I think, you know, worst case scenario, I don't like the way it looks and I end up going back and customizing stuff later. I do think I am going to plant down the white pumpkins. I'm not 100% on this, but I think it would look cool to put like a little pumpkin patch nearby. I have all this empty space. I've thought a lot about connecting these 2 paths, but I can also use the space to decorate, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe we have a little pumpkin patch with a scarecrow next to it. That could look fun, and it would give us more money, and it also is more symmetrical because I'm not connecting any paths right here and up here. You know what I mean? If I connect a path over there, it'll make me feel like I need to connect a path over here, which I don't want to do. So that's my thought process right now. There are going to be some trees in the way, so, you know, we'll take care of that. Ooh, we got furniture out of this one, a tapestry. We'll start by making the spooky arch the centerpiece to everything we're doing here. And we'll put it right here, right up against the Resident Services Plaza. And then I'm going to throw a spooky tower right here. And I was going to put one on either side, but I think that would cover up this cool little pumpkin right there on the arch. I can try anyway. Yeah, putting it here is a little bit silly just because we already have something there. And this area will feel a little more full too once we get the shrubs and the trees fully grown. Let's look at this area. I am going to once again pick up the trees. You might be thinking, didn't we just go through this? And yes, we did. We could end up selling them, so they're worth money. That's cool. But also they add a lot of height and stuff, and having a couple trees to kind of move around to see how we like things. like fully grown trees isn't a bad thing. So here's like my little farm. I got a balloon in the distance though, so let's take care of this. Hopefully it's something good or a big pile of money. Oh, it's a pile of money. It's a small pile of money. And yeah, for this plot, what I think I'm gonna do is actually put down 2 rows of white pumpkins in each of these. So something like this. I'm realizing this might have looked better if I had used the lighter soil. I'm gonna leave it though, because I used the darker soil over here, and I think that's just becoming representative of like a plot where I'm farming things. Anyway, up here at the top, I'm gonna plant orange pumpkins, or rather, I'm gonna plant yellow pumpkins. We're actually not planting any of the orange ones down here. And then in this other middle row, I'm gonna plant green pumpkins. Now I have more customization options, more ways to make money, and the pumpkins are gonna look like they've been placed down in an orderly fashion, which I also like. We now also have a place for our scarecrow right in between the 2 plots, which is excellent. Before I forget again, let's go ahead and taper this corner right here. And then we're gonna put down the spooky trees. And the whole goal with these is to just kind of surround the farm and just kind of give this area that kind of like Halloween vibe we're going for with this pumpkin patch. So yeah, just like that. In fact, if I turn this around, do the pumpkins still kind of face out? They do. Good. So 2 spooky trees. We can still use regular trees on top of this, but yeah, this gives me the vibe I'm looking for. Now, because this is so close to the entrance, I did grab a few other things, like one of my favorite items, the destination signpost, and I customized it to look a little bit dark and spooky. So you get off the plane, and already it's kind of pointing you in different directions, and it looks a little bit ominous. You get over here, you get the spooky scenery. It's kind of weird to have like a spooky, like a permanent spooky area on an island. But I have to roll with it. I just don't have a lot to choose from. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this rock because it is now officially in my way. I guess I'll just eat a pumpkin to do this. Oh, there's a cherry right below it. Oh crap. Anyway, I'll pick up this tree with the cherry. How's that? Then we have all of this space to kind of work with. Now, I did talk about maybe putting like a bus stop here or something, which we can absolutely still do. But for the time being, I thought maybe just making like a little seating area out here, making it kind of feel like this is an extension of the plaza where an event is happening, feels like the right move. So here's what I'm kind of thinking we do for now, is we put down a spooky table, kind of like right there. And I would like to get some chairs and stuff on this, but until then, we might put some different foods once we unlock cooking. We can also put down maybe the trick lamp on top of it, and that could be fun. Just something cool to see. And then I would probably take this swinging bench and kind of put it over here near-ish to this table. And then we're going to put the ring toss game right here. This definitely needs some fences, by the way. Like, this area kind of feels like it needs something, because right now it's just a bunch of stuff randomly placed down. So we'll look into that. But yeah, ring toss like over here. You can tell I'm kind of getting desperate right now. This is just stuff kind of randomly placed. It needs more separation for sure. Let me just hold on to the rest of my decorations for this spot for now, because I'm gonna have to think on this. I'm much more proud of how this is coming out, because we got a farm. This area feels like it has intention, and it's kind of nice. I like how the entrance over here is turning out. I could even see myself doing a second spooky arch. Why not? But yeah, some more stuff to kind of figure out. Let's pop down a couple leaf piles though. These are just really cool. I love having them kind of part way on top of paths like that. We could put another one right here, because I did say I wanted to kind of clutter this area up a little bit. In fact, let's throw a rocking chair like right here, and that'll look kind of nice sitting under the tree once that's fully grown. And yeah, as I unlock more recipes, I think this stuff starts to come together a little bit more. Speaking of fences though, I did come prepared with one type of fence that I think will work pretty well. It looks like I'm gonna have to push this tree forward a little bit to make it work, which means the leaf pile's in the way. Let's try now. Yep, there we go. So the idea here, maybe not even a fence there. The idea here is that barbed wire is, spooky looking. So I thought putting this behind the farm creates the separation between the path and the farm area, and kind of adds to the vibes a little bit. So we can have it go like that, and literally just, that's it. We don't need any more. Or better yet, maybe it starts to wrap around the farm a little. We can take away this one. Stuff like this kind of makes it a little more asymmetrical, which is probably good for stuff like this. So how about one more barbed wire fence right here? And then the spooky tree is in the way of putting any more. We can put this spooky tree back over here. Got our leaf pile. Looks like there's another balloon, hopefully here to drop some kind of gift we can actually use in the build. That would be fun. It's a fragrance diffuser. It's not even orange, so no, we can't really use this, but I wanted furniture and I got it. I think out of everything I've done so far, this is the most complete area on this entire island, which is a little embarrassing, but it actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna steal this. I honestly think it hangs out by the rocking chair. It just feels like a good item for that. Should I push it back more? Maybe something like that? Yeah, I like this. This is kind of cool. And I think putting a tree right here by the fence will start to create that visual separation that we need between this like little farm and then everything else going on back here with my house and the path that kind of goes up. My plan isn't to do a spooky themed island, so I do need bits of separation because we're gonna go from like spooky entranceway to more, I don't know, I guess regular looking decorations. And I think as far as decorating goes, that's all I can really do for now because again, I'm just low on supplies. The customizing isn't really working out. And just taking little bites out of this is kind of how I prefer to play it anyway, until the very end, of course. Yeah, are you like me? I don't know. I'm that kind of person that when the test is getting to a point where it's going to happen soon, like tomorrow, that's when I kind of kick it into high gear. So we'll have these days where I just kind of work on little projects. And then by the end, the last few days of the challenge, I'm going to freak out and I'm going to really start just spamming stuff everywhere. And I really don't think that's like a very hot take when it comes to just getting things done. I always work a lot harder at the end of a challenge or when there's a big test coming up and it's happening very soon. Oh my gosh, Sherry's just gonna give me a present and I have a lost item for her. It's a rain hat. That's actually not a bad hat. Does this mean I get a third present from Sherry today? Oh my gosh, it's furniture. It's a school chair. I don't know. We might actually use this somewhere. Let's see what Samson gives us. A business suit coat. I haven't seen too many people in their houses today. I haven't seen Molly anywhere. I hope I can find everybody to give them their presents. And I think the last thing we'll do today is go on a captain tour, because we always get a DIY that way. It'd be really nice to have just more options. I think it's time to sell this banded dragonfly, just mostly because I need the money, and I think I've proven that I can catch one very, very easily at this point. We have 8 giant clams today, which is awesome. Got a whole bunch of shells. We'll sell the banded dragonfly, also worth a lot. I'll sell one of the trees. We might use the other one. That gives us another task down. Catching bugs is a big Nook Miles reward today, so we'll do that. We'll catch 5. I'll try to focus on butterflies because Wilbo gave us a challenge to catch specifically certain types of butterflies. Oh, and I found Molly too. Fantastic. She's gonna give me a painting set, which I think I literally just bought from Red. Yep. This is the same item. That's great. There's so much to do. I also need to harvest my orange trees, which I forgot about. Adding oranges to the sell pile means we're gonna have 58,708 bells coming to us tomorrow. I just spotted another banded dragonfly, by the way. If I catch it, I catch it. I'm still just trying to get the 5 bugs right now. I got a regular dragonfly though, or a darner dragonfly, sorry. Anyway, 5 bugs caught. Lots of points here. I could buy waterscaping if I wanted to, but I don't need to at the moment. But now let's go out and see if we can find ourselves a new DIY. Oh, we found a thunderstorm. I think it's a thunderstorm. This is coming down real heavy. I did find a DIY. Let's see if it's something cool, something new. Jail bars. Okay. I mean, we are doing like a spooky themed entrance, so we might actually use those. Claim some points for coming out here. Found the gyroid fragment, and I found a completely grown gyroid. It feels wasteful to come all the way out here and not destroy the island, but I am out of time. Tomorrow, though, we have to get back to work crafting and decorating more, so that video is on the screen now if you want to go watch it, or subscribe so you don't miss it if it's not ready yet, and I will see you tomorrow.